This is the English Literature Web YouTube channel. I am Professor L.B. Gayakawad is teaching on the topic Expansion of an Idea Part 1st. Expansion is the art of expansion, that is the elaborating the proverb. Remember here the explanation is that we can elaborate means we can discuss very longly or we can discuss the particular topic with a span, means if that idea is rather small we can make that idea biggest, and but that idea we can make biggest, it is true, but the biggest idea must be properly biggest. That idea should not be wrongly biggest, means it should be limited but with the elaborating. So here the expansion of the idea is the process in which there is the particular art, there is the particular systematic method, there is the particular way of explaining, way of elaborating the particular proverb, sentence, I will say, or the passage. In the expansion, you have to think out the ideas. At first, remember when there is the expansion of the sentence, when there is the expansion of the proverb or the passage, the particular gentleman has to think out the ideas, means what are the ideas there, because the thinking on the ideas is the best thing. If that gentleman is not thinking on the particular sentence, on the proverb or on the passage, then he will not understand the meanings properly. So when he is going to make the expansion, he should think out again and again on the ideas, because he should get the particular scheme, he should get the particular idea of expanding that particular sentence or proverb or the passage. Then he can elaborate it. At first he can think out, then he can elaborate it, because when is there the situation of elaborating, there should be at first the thinking out position. If the gentleman will think again and again, then he can elaborate. Without thinking, there is no elaborating, and that's why at first the person who is going there to make the expansion of the idea, he must think out and then he must elaborate, means then he must extend, he must increase the passage, that idea, or I will say that sentence, with the illustrations, means he should explain, he should give some illustrations there, examples there. And when he is doing all this, he must use his imagination. He should stress there his imagination, because that imagination will be useful for him or will make him particularly help, and with the help of that imagination he will elaborate that particular point, or I will say he will at first think out with the help of the imagination. So he must make imagination on the particular proverb or the sentence or the passage. The expansion should be neither too short nor too long. Remember, the expansion is the particular idea which is very much systematic or scientific idea. So when the gentleman is going to make the expansion of the idea, he must be there with the particular discipline, because that passage, that sentence or that idea must be expanded or must be extended or increased. Means it should not be in the sense of shortness, or it should not be in the sense of longness, means that expansion should not be long, or that expansion should not be short, means it should be very much properly made up. If it is too short, it will not be an expansion. Remember, if that gentleman is doing the expansion very short, then that will not be the expansion. That will be really the foolish work on the part of that gentleman. So that should not be very much short, and it also should not be long. If it is too long, very much long, what will happen? It will almost be an essay, as well as we have not to write it. Remember, here I will say that if that gentleman is prolonging or extending or expanding, or if he is elaborating that passage too much, very much, then what will happen? That passage will become the particular essay, and we have not to write there the particular essay. We are not writing the essay. Remember, we are there making the expansion of the particular idea into the systematic passage, and that's why that passage should not be more long, or that passage should not be more increased, because it will happen the work of the essay, and we are not writing their essay, we are doing there the systematic passage. We should read the given idea or the sentence or the passage carefully and think over it until you have clearly understood its meaning. Remember, we should read, or you should read the given idea. So remember, if the given idea is the honesty is the best policy, then we should think over what is honesty, what is policy, and then we should call out to our imagination, and with the help of that imagination we should think out that idea. It means, what is honesty, what is policy? Honesty is the best policy, like this means we should think out that particular meaning of the sentence, and then we should think properly, or I will say we should try to elaborate it carefully. At first we should think out very carefully, and then again we should think over it very carefully until we have, or you have completed, understood the particular meaning of the sentence, or I will say of the particular passage or the idea. It is very clear that we should remember, we should recall properly our imagination, our sense of humor, to understand the given idea, the sentence or the passage very carefully. And again we should think over it until we have got the particular meaning of that sentence or the proverb or the passage. Then we should find out the central idea. Remember, if we are thinking very carefully, then we will find the central idea. What is the central idea? The gist. What is the gist? The main idea, the main subject, the main theme of that particular sentence. And then, after finding out the particular central idea or the gist or the theme, particularly in the mind of the writer, then we should go to elaborate that particular point. Means the elaborating or the expansion of the idea is not the simple thing to say. Means at first we should know, we should understand what is there, the purpose of that sentence, or what is the motto of that sentence, And when we will understand the gist or the motto or the central idea or the particular message of that sentence, then we can will elaborate that particular point. And there we should not let enter the irrelevant matters. Remember, when we are going to make the expansion of the particular idea, we should not give a chance to the particular matters which are irrelevant, or I will say the matters which are not related to the particular expansion or to the particular sentence. Means we should not be astray from the point, or we should not go away from the point. We should be there related with the main idea or with the particular sentence, proverb or the passage, or the meaning of that particular passage. If we go away from the meaning of the passage or the sentence, then that thing will not be the expansion properly, means it will be the careless discussion. So we should be very alert while making the particular expansion of the idea. After grasping the meaning properly, we should go to the art of analyzing. Remember, here I will say that there is the analyzing art. Means analyzing means what? We must have the critical point, we must have the critical eye, or we must understand that particular topic analytically, because we must know what is the right side and what is the I will say left side, or what is the positive or negative sense of that particular thing. Means the analyzing or the critical point of view or the satirizing point of view, or I will say the minute study or very careful study is the art there, and we should go through all these things, and then we will have the particular idea of making the expansion of the idea. So this will happen only because of the meaning which we have understood properly. Then we should find out the implications in the idea. Remember, in that idea there are the implications. Now implications means the difficult ideas, because that particular sentence is not a simple sentence. For example, I will say, my mother is goddess. Now remember, my mother is goddess or my mother is a goddess. When we say like this, then this idea is not the simple idea, or this idea is not an easy idea, because the gentleman is comparing his mother with the goddess, and that's why here this idea is very much difficult idea. So we should find out the implications or difficulties or some challenges or some loopholes in the particular idea. Loopholes, loopholes in the particular ideas. Loophole means what? I will say the loopholes means the particular strategy which will be useful for the particular explanation of the passage. Then we should take out the proper ideas in the expansion. Remember, some ideas which are very important in the corner of our brain, we should find out those ideas in relation with the sentence or passage, and then we should take out only the proper ideas which are related with the expansion, and that is the important thing I will say. We shouldn't use there only the elaboration, or we should not do there only the expansion, but also we should elucidate and explain the ideas. Remember here, the expansion of the idea is not only the elaborating point, or it is not only the expanding point, but it is the elucidation. Means we must elucidate there and explain the ideas, means the ideas should be very cleared there, means we should give the clarification of the ideas. And if we are not giving there the clarification of the ideas, then the purpose of the expansion will not be successful. For this purpose, we should use illustrative points, stories, anecdotes, examples, and pertinent quotations. Remember, when we are doing such type of expansion, we should use the illustrative points or the stories. Illustrative points means the points which are rather uh, rather full of the explanations, or rather examples are there. Illustrative means there is the explanation, and so illustrative points must be there. Then there should be the stories. Stories means there should be the attractive uh, things which are really essential for the expansion, that is called the stories. Or anecdotes are there, means we should use there some anecdotes. Now anecdotes means we should use there some legends, or we should use there some typical stories which will be attractive, and that passage will be appreciable for others. Then we should take there some examples, because these examples will be supporting to the expansion of the idea, and that's why we should do that there. And there should be some pertinent quotations. Now pertinent quotations means without the quotations that passage will not be the heavy passage, or will not be the great passage. And that's why if we want to make that passage great, then we should have the quotations there. We should give some quotations with the help of our study. Then the expansion of the idea will be very much nice, and that will be the best expansion of us. So here today we have finished the part first, and we will again come in front of each other with the new topic of the expansion. Thank you very much.